Hello YouTubers, hope you can all hear this. I've had my quarterly meter charge now from the water company, and the bill comes to 73.37p. 39.38p of that is the actual bill, and 33.99 of that is the debt. The Department of Work and Pensions, God bless them, are taking £11.91 out of my benefit per week. So over the 95 days, which is 13.5 weeks, I paid £160.78 to the water company. I'd like the £87.41 returned to me as soon as possible, and I've tried doing that, by ringing the Department of Work and Pensions and asking them to review the amount they're paying me, and they said they can't do that. I have to be in touch with the water company. Got in touch with the water company. The guy there didn't seem to understand that part of that charge, the £11.91 out of my weekly money, is for the debt that they claim I owe them, and I've been paying off since 2000, which by legislation I shouldn't have had to do, but they've made me do, because Robbery Morgan at the Welsh Assembly and his social service minister and Uncle Tom Cobley and all feel that if you've got issues that bar you from working, you're supposed to be treated like shit. So I've got to find out tomorrow now whether I can cancel the direct payment from the Department of Work and Pensions and then start a new one, so that they actually calibrate it to the new level that I'm paying. But the water company guy said that as soon as my debt's paid, I have to stop paying direct to them. Well, that seems to me like a lot of paperwork for no good reason. So that's the one thing I've been dealing with. I've blogged a blog, and I've got to put this video on with that blog. This is for all the illiterate people. And the blog's title is The Department of Works and Pensions Culpable in Robbery of Vulnerable Adults. And really they should have dealt with the overdue debt aspect in 2002 on my behalf. And Robbery Morgan really ought to have rung up the water company and said, given that Crazy Dave's nuts, can you give him the charge that is, you know, as though you can't fit a meter in the property? And that would have meant a hell of a saving for me over these last 10 years, but there we go. The other thing I got to deal with this week is Cardiff County Council's housing application form, or rehousing application form. Got a letter with it. I'll read you out the letter. Dear Mr. Gabriel, application for housing. Our records show that you submitted a housing application form in October 2008. This was returned to you as you had not fully completed the form, and we require additional information in order to process your application. I note that to date you have not returned the form, so I am enclosing another one which you should complete and return in the envelope provided. However, if you need help completing the form, please contact your housing officer, Lisa Clark, on Cardiff 537420, who will be able to assist you. Alternatively, you can call into any housing office for help with completing the form. I am sorry, but we are unable to make your application active until we receive the information on the form. This means you will not shortlist for properties, and we will therefore not receive an offer of alternative accommodation. Once your completed application form is returned and processed, it will be registered from the date of your original application, 3rd of October 2008. If you no longer wish to be considered for rehousing, please advise your housing officer and your application will be withdrawn. Yours sincerely, Rehousing Unit. So it's got a signature on there, but there's no name. So I rang them up yesterday, and for one, it's pointless me sending back the form because there's no way that they're going to offer me a bungalow. Apparently you get 100 points if you put down on there the area that you would like to be rehoused in, because I put anywhere on there, and when I meant anywhere, I meant anywhere in the UK, not just Cardiff, anywhere. I prefer it really south of whatever, you know, we're living on here now. It's just be warmer in the winter, but anywhere, you know, there's got to be a bungalow somewhere in the UK Mr. Gordon Brown, the Crazy Dave, can move into and live a peaceful death, you know. The other thing is they got Lisa Clark's name on there, and if anybody knows the history of my videos and my blogs, they will know that Lisa Clark is the last person on God's earth that I'd want to speak to, because she's the one who sent those letters about get your screens down. Sorry that they had to be so poor, Lisa Clark, but then again I've been living on a minimum income. So there's no real point in me sending this housing application, because all they're going to do is put me in another shared house or put me in a block of flats, and you know, I got people issues. I'm sorry, but I got them. You would too if you'd been treated like I have over the years from other human beings. So yeah, I got people issues, and I'd like them, you know, considered. I know that there's young guys in their early 20s who are living in houses because they got some chick knocked up, and they have them for weekends and whatnot and whatever. And because I haven't got any dependents like that, I can't have a house, even though I'm over 50. And when you look at how much they're paying private landlords nationally, well, there's plenty of friggin' money there for their mortgages, Mr. Brown. You know, you look at the top 10 private landlords in Cardiff video that I put on YouTube, and you look at the figures that those people are getting, nearly $500,000 to one guy from Social Security, and yet the media does not want to deal about that subsidised industry. You know, they talk about, oh, we're not going to subsidise the car industry, and oh, we will subsidise the banks. Yeah? Well, they're subsidising private landlords in the tune of billions per year, and that is gross financial mismanagement, because the country as a whole doesn't benefit in social ownership of those homes, which are capital assets. It doesn't benefit in any way, shape or form, except making another tier level. So you have the private landlord, he shipped the renting out to some letting agency, so the letting agency got to put on their bit of the equation, and then you get the landlord itself, and the tenants either supplying that, or if you go to some of these conferences where it tells you how to become a private landlord, they recommend that you get DHSS claimants in there so that you get your mortgage paid. I gotta check out the time on this now. Oh, 7 minutes. And the other thing that I've had in conjunction with all this is this incapacity for work questionnaire, because they want me to go back and see one of their doctors. And this doctor, who they'll make me go and see, will know nothing about me. They expect you to tell somebody who you know nothing about your innermost self. Well, sorry, I don't want to do that anymore, and I don't see why I have to. Who the hell is this doctor to say that whether, you know, I'm fit to work? Who are they? If I tell somebody I never ever want to go back into that environment again, thank you very much. I've got damn good reason for saying that. Really, you know, good reason for saying that. I've had these people's doctors perjure reports that they send back into them about what I've said. So the next time when I have to go for this, and I'm going to put some stuff on there that these people are not going to like, when I go for that, I'm going to take my video camera and I'm going to ask the doctor, excuse me doctor, what do you do if you have a client comes here and tells you that they're being abused by their carers? What do you do? What are you forced to do in that situation? And then I'm going to ask the doctor, excuse me doctor, what do you do if you have somebody come here and tell you that they're being victimized and criminally neglected? What is your role then? Because I would sure like to hear the answer to that. But I can imagine that as soon as I get the camera on go, that the doctor's going to close the meeting. So those things that are going on. There's a lot of questions about the social responsibility of the Department of Work and Pensions to their vulnerable claimants, and the greed of the likes of the water company and the BBC. Gotta stop this now because we're 9 minutes and 46 seconds.